All right, hi guys. I haven't done this in a while, but I feel like it's time to run through the markets. So I'm going to focus on gold, silver, but also the general markets first. The dollar, the miners. Um, a lot has happened since my last videos. I've only done 3 or 4, but they've been pretty good, pretty accurate, I'd say. So I think now is a pretty fitting time to run through where I think the markets are going. So we have rallied quite a lot off the lows, 14, 15% on the SPY and the Dow. I think we are at resistance, horizontal, general resistance. I really can't see us going higher. If we do, we're even stronger resistance, the next horizontal line around 430 on the SPY, but also more significantly the downtrend line resistance. So I think this is a proper sell. I'm not going to go short, but I definitely sell a lot more than I did here. So my strategy is to hold positions that I believe in long term, have a certain limited core value in those positions. Since everything follows the markets and they've gone up, let's take the miners, for example. I've trimmed them on this way up, on this move up. I'll go through them soon, but I'm going to trim them even more and pretty strong trim if we go higher here in the general market. So SPY, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think we're at resistance here, and if we go higher, we're at even stronger resistance. The Dow, same two sort of resistance. Yeah, horizontal line, a little weak, let's say, but nothing significant. If it goes and takes out 33,000 and something 500, then we go for 34,000. Same logic, sell here, sell more there. NASDAQ has been even stronger. It's taken out its horizontal resistance, if you call it here, gone a little higher, and now we are at the downtrend line. I mean, it's normal that NASDAQ and also the Russell, the ones that have gotten destroyed, have moved up the most since the drop. So, I mean, a little higher. But all four are generally at resistance now. And yeah, okay, the Russell's a bit harder to tell, but and they do have a bit of a move before the next one, 7% in the Russell and the NASDAQ. So they've got a bit of a move if we do keep going up. But I think all four markets, SPY, down, NASDAQ, Russell, are sells now and sells later. So I've already sold this region for the positions I hold. So I'm not looking to sell anymore. I'm waiting to see if we go higher, and I'll be selling, I'll be trimming there. I want to hold a certain core position, several core positions at certain values. And let's say I'm holding Migo Eagle for $4,000. If it gets to 4,400 by the time it gets here, I'm trimming 400. You know what I've made. It's generally how I do it, and I don't want to hold too much money in a particular stock. So we'll go through my portfolio soon, but just know that no matter how much I believe in a stock or even a sector, there's a certain amount I'm willing to risk, and even if things go great, I'm still willing to sell and keep that risk under control. So for the four markets, we're at resistance, and if we go higher, I'm looking to sell more of my positions. Before we go over my positions, I mainly trade gold and silver stocks. So let's go through gold and silver. Gold has made a nice bounce off the lows. I don't know how much, maybe 10, 15. Okay, no. Yeah, 6, 7%. That's pretty good for gold. Just a bounce to previous support. So another reason why I sold, I thought gold and also silver, previous support at 20.5, let's say. So textbook, so far failed. If the markets go higher, I do expect these to go higher, but if the markets are at resistance, as I see, if gold and silver are at resistance, as I see, that's enough for me to trim a bit. So, I mean, if we go higher, then I'll be selling again, like the markets. GDX and the GXJ. GDX has underperformed because of Newmont, I think. So it's not that strong, hasn't moved that much. GXJ has been stronger, which is bullish. It's a bit like silver outperforming gold. Nice 16% from bottom to where it is now. 7, yeah, so GXJ has been a lot stronger, which I've enjoyed. maybe we'll look at the dollar just to give another reason why I trimmed. So you can see the dollar sort of hit its support just above 105 for the last few days. So when you look at the dollar, you look at the markets, you look at gold and silver all hitting resistance and the dollar hitting support. For me, that was enough of a reason to trim. You know, I hope that everything goes back down again so I can buy back. If it doesn't, fine, we'll make a bit more money and trim the next level. So those were the three reasons I trimmed. And I mean, if Monday things open strong and look weak, I might even trim a little bit more, but I feel like it's getting a bit greedy. I'd hate to sell even more and then it starts to go back up again. So yeah, now I'll go through my portfolio, which is here. I added to Newmont very badly. Just before earnings, I bought it 52-ish. Got slaughtered, added, and now I'm just sort of, I think I'm at 48 or something average. But Newmont is a well-established company, so I'm okay holding it. We're at ascending support, so. But yeah, if the markets go back down, you know, it could easily go lower. But I'm okay holding Newmont here. Agnico Eagle had a nice bounce, had nice news, sold that. Also meeting resistance soon. But these are not massive moves, so it wouldn't surprise me if they keep going up. I mean, this is great value down here. It's just me being a bit greedy and hoping to buy back because it makes all the difference, these little buys and sells overall. I mean, 13% here, but when you look at the smaller ones, they're 25% moves. So, you know, you get that right 2 or 3 times, you're very good actually. So Wheaton, another one that didn't do too well, but another great senior established company that I like to hold. It's royalty. Pan American Silver did well, good news. I don't trade news. I just, if I have the position, I have the position. I believe in it. So news is just a hit or miss. You know, it's I wouldn't ever buy a stock to try and trade the earnings or the news. I just, if the news happens, well, there's a corporate action, so be it. I'll trade around it. Pan American Silver, another nice one. That's been strong recently. You know, also made a nice 20% move from the low. Trimmed that. You can see we're at previous support. Do we go higher? Where's the next level? I don't know, maybe 23, 24. But a lot has to happen for it to get there. So trimmed a little bit. Previous support here, 20-ish, just above 20. Mag had a nice move. I think there was some good news. Got a bit lucky there, but it's a good company. Silver, that's a nice move. I think I sold here actually. Don't know if I trimmed again, but you know, I think everything's going to go down. So if it goes a bit higher, I've got my next levels to trim. You can see I generally trim horizontal trend lines where the last sort of resistance was, in this case on the way up, but also down trend lines, sort of grand strategic descending lines here. This is obvious support for me. So if we do keep going higher and taking into account the time effect on the price, you know, we'll probably get to about here if we do keep going up. I think my average is sort of low 16s here. I bought it sort of a while ago, so underwater, but I like it. GFI, I bought it here when it was going sideways. I love this sort of chart pattern. I think it's just waiting to breach and then run, you know. Wouldn't surprise me if we get to 12 if the market goes up. But if the market goes down, you know, it kind of has to go back down, and I'd probably buy more in the low 8s, depending on the market. So Goldfields, I like it. I think they've acquired Yamana AUI, one that I used to hold and sold. I want to get back into that, but I won't show that one just now. It's generally quite strong, but I don't own it at the moment, so I'll only buy that on a big red day. First Majestic, now we have the sort of 4 silver horsemen that I hold. This had a nice move. I think it's 25%-ish off the bottom. I think I trimmed here the $8. So I'm not going to sell now. If it goes up again, $9, I might trim a tiny bit. Fortuna, also quite nice. Looks small, but it's a nice move. 20%. EXK, also 20-25% off the bottom. And they've all got similar charts. So when I see the GDX and the GDXJ, especially the GDXJ and silver, hitting resistance, like I've shown, I'll just trim these. I don't even care what the chart looks like because GDXJ and silver sort of override this chart, individual chart. You can always squeeze maybe a little bit out more, but if I see a big reversal in the general sector, I'll just trim. So I've trimmed the XK already. CDE similar. You can see previous support is previous support is 320s. I think 319 I sold or something. If we break out of this downtrend line though, but I think we can see it's going to actually quite high because this has really been destroyed and that could really propel. So, but you probably need the sector to perform with you. So this one, I'm not going to sell anymore, and I might trade the big move if it comes. If it goes back down, I'll buy more, not too much more. Gran Colombia, I think this one merged with another company. I got the name, so there was some good news. I forgot to buy. I think I sold in. I think I sold 290, but then bought back because it was such good news. This one I don't hold too much, so if it goes up, that would actually be a bit annoying for me. I want to buy more. I just don't know if it will go lower. I need the sector to fail to buy more of this. I think it's a buy because it moved higher on good news. TGLDF. Now we're getting into some more speculative ones. This is more of an internet stock, one of the ones I found on online. I'm sold on the story and the CEO, but again, I don't sort of trust anyone too much or the news, but I think it's just totally destroyed, and I think it's in a good region, the debt's okay, etc., and it hasn't moved up, and this downtrend line, it's looking for I mean, if this pops, it could do quite a 50, 100% move very quickly, and then I'd be selling into that. I've seen too many of them come back down, but yeah, I think long term it's a good one. So a bit like Carmelina, which has already popped. I didn't sell. I'd buy back if it comes back down, a bit like the other ones. These are all really junior speculative ones. Sort of from Newmont to Goldfields, I'd consider them senior. First Majestic also. And Fortuna to Coeur d'Alene, maybe Gran Colombia, I'd call them juniors. And then here, these are more speculative ones. And I don't like speculative ones. I had a lot more before. I've actually gotten rid of quite a few and merged their proceeds into the more senior ones. But yeah, I'm happy with Camelina. I mean, I kept the ones that I thought were justified. Fortitude, it's a bit of a special one. Good dividends, good earnings. I don't hold enough, so I didn't sell this move. I'm only looking to buy back if it comes back down, low sixes. And Let's Go, not a good one. It's been destroyed. I held all the way down. I traded this quite well, but didn't get my money back, obviously. I was constantly buying this, not too much, thankfully, but it hurt. I lost like 50% of what I put in, I'd say. Maybe made back 20% or whatever. I'm kind of making those numbers up, but roughly something like that. I'm looking for a move back up and then all out. I think it's already done more than enough. I've sold most of it. It's just maybe 15% of it left for a move to 60 cents. There's not much technicals to go by. I mean, if it gets to 70, yeah, that's get out there, but I don't think it'll make that. Rain of Silver, another one that made a nice move off the bottom, which I didn't add to on the way down. I was adding to other more senior and more established stocks. I didn't add enough to the speculative ones. I should have done here, but should have, could have, whatever. It's actually come back down quite a bit. So, but again, I think the general sector will come back down, and if it goes to low 20s, I'll add to that. Heliostar, I bought it low. I've traded a little bit. I've really been trading this range. Another one that might squeeze. I think it's supposed to be a good stock, hence the big squeeze up here, but I don't have much in it. If it squeezes, I'm all out. So because it's not worth much, I'm not going to go through it too much, but decent setup at the moment. I don't know how much lower these types of stocks can go if the sector goes down. They can always go lower, but when you zoom out, you think, okay, we're scraping the bottom already. So Trillium Oil and Gas. I'll show you the Canadian ticker. There's more to the story. So I actually bought it a while ago down here. Ran into some YouTube. Breach tire. didn't sell. I think I sold here or something, didn't sell this huge move. When it came back down, I think I added a bit, and then I started to trade it quite well, you know, because they're nice moves. And the US ticker came, so I've sort of, I think the last buy was 19 cents on breakout here, sold it here at 23.89 or something, because it sort of came back to touch prior support, well, resistance in this case. If it goes back down, I'll buy it because of the geopolitics, and it's quite a good. I think it's quite a good stock from the interviews I watched with the CEO, Art something. I forgot his name, but it's a good stock, and obviously with what's going on, it's worth playing. I think it's oil and gas in the Black Sea off Turkey and Bulgaria. So that's a non-gold miner. That's oil and gas. All of these are gold and silver. Now I've just gone through my one oil and gas stock. I also have Hive, which is a Bitcoin, an Ethereum miner. I bought it at 314 when I saw the flush in Bitcoin. I don't hold any Bitcoin. And I only put sort of 20% in. I should have put more. I was looking for Bitcoin to go lower to like 10 or 12K. Never came, and it's actually moved quite a lot since. But all of the miners have moved quite a lot. So I'm not happy about not having enough in here. If it does go higher to test 8, I'll probably trim quite a bit and gamble that it comes back down. So I wish I had more of this actually. But if the market goes down, I think everything goes down. I haven't shown Bitcoin yet, but I'll probably do a separate analysis of Bitcoin later. But generally, it just follows the market. So, and it's underperformed the market. If you remember the general markets, they've moved, you know, quite a lot, and this is sort of not moved that much. Bitcoin 30% is not much given what the market's done, and all the other markets are at resistance, and this is not. So if it loses this ascending support, it goes to the next one, and then takes a life of its own, loses 20K, and it's all back to the lows. So I'm hoping that Hive goes down with it. It will, it should. Another one is Mind Medicine. This is a mushroom company. I remember this is an internet stock I was hearing a while ago, when it was all the way up here in the fours. I remember. Thank God I didn't chase. And then when the market started flushing, my attention was elsewhere. And then I saw it recently, and then I added 77, and then I added on Friday on this flush here because I don't have enough. In all of these, I don't have enough. So I added, and I actually wanted to go lower, hopefully to its all-time lows, play a bounce and get out. I think maybe not get out, but just play this descending line. I'm not going to fall in love with this one. I don't know enough about the sector. I don't care too much. I'm sure there are positives about it. Weed, Tilray, with the elections coming up, this one could squeeze. I've traded a little bit. I think I sold it through 78, a bit too early. I think I was trading, yeah, this horizontal line at the time. It broke out now. 410-ish is resistance, which is too close to my previous sell. So I'm not going to sell anymore. Even if the market's going to go down, this should go down. I just feel like with the elections, there could be some news, and you know, you could have the market down 3% and Tilray up 27, and you know. So I'm okay holding that. I don't think they'll go bankrupt soon. I would sell obviously at 5 and then at 8. So I'm okay holding this sort of long-term-ish. Paramount bought on Friday because they had earnings. I don't even know if they were good or bad. I think they were bad. Well, the market perceived it as bad. But because it's sort of choppy, Warren Buffett bought in the 30s, I think. And just, I don't have too much in it. I just bought another tranche, sorry. If it goes lower, then I'll buy again. But for now, I'm happy holding this. Oakley, another one I own. I think long term it will do quite well, and it's had a strong reaction to its bad earnings. And finally, Desktop Metals. So another one I own that I think will do quite well, but I've already trimmed it up here. So that's my portfolio. My daughter just woke up. I'll end it here. Please subscribe and comment and all that stuff. Yeah, see you on the next video.